have low testosterone.
Low testosterone.
Struggling with low testosterone.
In today's video, we're just gonna see if I can increase my test naturally. And the first step is to go get my blood work done to see what my starting point is. I just got tested. Waiting for the results now. So we just got the results back, and my total test is 391.5 nanograms per deciliter. Now this is quite low, it's on the lower range of normal. So I did get my test tested from a men's clinic in my city, and this was a complimentary test. So they only reported to me the total test count. I would say if you go get your blood test done from your doctor's office, they should also report to you the total free test and also just bioavailable testosterone. But I only have 391.5 as my total test nanograms per deciliter. So I'll be using that as my baseline before starting this video. And just for reference, the general range that's okay for guys is between 300 to 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. So I'm definitely on the lower range of that spectrum. And for guys my age, the middle third have a test between 400 and 600 nanograms per deciliter. So I'm just outside of that range as well, which is a little bit concerning. Now, I don't experience any of the symptoms of having low testosterone, which is why I'm not extremely worried, although I think it would definitely be beneficial for me to increase my overall testosterone. So now that we have a reference point for my baseline testosterone level, you guys are probably wondering how I'm planning on naturally increasing this. So there are 4 ways, and we'll get into that right now. So first we'll go over a diet. Diet's fairly simple. All I've read online is that you should focus on eating whole natural foods. Stay away from processed foods, processed sugars, high fructose corn syrup, seed oil, stuff like that. But there are a couple foods that supposedly, can increase your test. So we'll go over those right now. Okay, welcome to the grocery store. First pickup is salmon, which is high in vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acids. Next up, we have some pomegranate juice, and pomegranates have always been linked to fertility, and they're also rich in antioxidants. So next up, we have some dark leafy greens. You can go with spinach, but I decided to go with kale. Leafy greens are rich in magnesium. Okay, so next up, I have some sweet potatoes, which are just good for an overall well-balanced diet. So the next pickup, which kind of surprised me honestly, is pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are high in zinc and also antioxidants. After broccoli, we hit the produce to get some broccoli. And broccoli supposedly can help regulate estrogen levels, according to Google. And we go to get some frozen berries next. Frozen berries are high in flavonoids and also antioxidants. And finally, we pick up the kiwi. There are actually 2 items I didn't show during that grocery shopping haul because it got pretty embarrassing filming myself getting groceries. But number 1 is Brazil nuts. These are high in selenium. All you need is 1 or 2 a day. The next one, eggs. Eggs contain cholesterol, and test is derived from cholesterol, so make sure you're eating your eggs. Alright, so there are many other foods that can increase test. I'll list them on the screen right now, but some of my favorites include red meat, oysters, dark chocolate, and blueberries. So now we'll talk about supplements. A lot of you guys are probably interested in this area as well. I would say there are many supplements online that claim to increase test. I didn't know which one was true, which ones were not telling the truth. So I just randomly picked a few. I couldn't afford all of them, and even the ones that I did pick out, I still spent a lot of money. So number 1, we have magnesium. I'm gonna take 400 milligrams. Then I also bought this multivitamin, like 1 a day kind of thing. There's a lot of vitamins in here, but the ones that we're specifically after are zinc, which I'll be taking 15 milligrams, and boron, which is 2 milligrams. After that, we have a vitamin D3 and K2. Now this D3 is supposed to be 5,000 IU, and then vitamin K2 is 100 mcg. Also guys, I'm not too familiar with these units, so I'm sorry if I get anything wrong. So then I also picked up Shilajit 900 milligrams. And finally, the last one I picked was Korean red ginseng extract. One serving of this is 1,000 milligrams of Korean red ginseng extract. Now with this one, I thought it was gonna be a powder, but it's actually like a liquid that you drink. And it also does have additional flavoring and added sugar, which that was my fault. I was not reading the label when I purchased it. But yeah, it is what it is. So those are the supplements I'll be taking. Okay guys, so I heard HIIT or high intensity interval training also helps. So I've been coming out here to sprint 3 times a week. And I normally just run 60 meters down the field, walk 40, and then I do that about 6 to 8 times. Hopefully it helps. So I also started incorporating leg days into my exercise routine. I used to always skip leg days, but the logic behind adding leg days is very similar to running, because when you do heavy squats, heavy deadlift, it's very, very high intensity. And there have been many studies that show high intensity exercises like this can stimulate the production of various hormones, one of them being testosterone as well. So sleep is fairly simple. You want to try to get at least 8 hours. And the reason why sleep is so important is because a lot of testosterone is produced and released while you're sleeping. That's why your testosterone levels are going to be highest in the morning, and why a lot of guys wake up, Okay guys, it's day like 35. I'm going to go in and get my final testosterone levels tested right now. Alright guys, so I just finished. It was a pretty quick process. I paid about $70 for this test, and I get my results back within 3 days, so we just have to wait and see. Alright, so it's been about 4 days and I just got my results back. We're gonna open this together. I haven't seen them yet. Okay. Just logging in right now. View online results. Okay. So my total testosterone is 571. And here are the results. As you can see, 571 nanograms per deciliter. I thought they would also report the free test and bioavailable test, but I guess they didn't. Okay, so total testosterone went up by 210 nanograms per deciliter, which is a pretty significant amount, especially just to do naturally. I want to share with you guys if my physique has changed, and also some overall thoughts on doing this process naturally and what it's been like. So we'll get into that right now. So we'll start with the physique. On the left is before, on the right is after. And honestly, I can't really tell a difference between the two photos. Alright, so my final thoughts on doing this experiment. I'd say if you have low test, or you feel like you have low test, there's really no need to take TRT or any other prescription medications. I think, as you saw from the video, you're able to increase your testosterone naturally, especially if you just want to get your testosterone to a healthy level. You're able to do that with a proper diet consisting of whole foods, intense exercise, and also getting enough sleep. But there are two sort of things I want to mention about the study that I ran, maybe like confounding factors or something like that, or limitations of the study. So the first one is I got my first test and my second test done from 2 different testing locations. So like I mentioned, the first place I got tested was a men's clinic, and it was a complimentary test, and the second place was from Quest Labs. So there wasn't really any consistency with that, even though I feel like getting testosterone levels tested should be fairly consistent between different labs. But I will say, one thing that kind of sussed me out was that the first place I went to, they reported my results within like 30 minutes. And then for Quest Labs, I had to wait 4 days. And I think that might have to do with the scale of their operations. The men's clinic, they just do everything in-house and they only treat patients that go into their clinic. But with Quest Labs, they have various locations all around the United States at least. And maybe, they just have more tests that they have to run. And the second thing is that I had so many variables as part of my study that I can't really distinguish which ones had the most impact in increasing testosterone. I took many different kinds of supplements and also incorporated a number of new exercises into my workout routine. But at the end of the day, I think every change that I made played a role in increasing my testosterone. And if I were to give you guys a recommendation, I don't really know what the most important one is, but just in general, if you're able to incorporate a few, if not all of them, it definitely will help you guys increase your own testosterone levels as well. So that was the video. I hope you guys found it informative and entertaining. I certainly learned a lot from the process of making this video, and if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.